My wife said, "You don't support my dreams. You're holding me back." After I paid for her business, that failed. I replied, "You're right, I should step aside." Then I sent her an invoice for every dollar I'd invested with interest. Her lawyer's letter called it cruel until I, 39 male, need to get this out before my head explodes. 3 days ago, my wife, 37, of 11 years told me I've been holding her back and never truly supported her dreams. This came after I spent $87,000 funding her boutique clothing store that closed 6 months ago. Let me back up. 2 years ago, my wife decided she wanted to open her own shop. Vintage clothing, locally sourced accessories, that whole aesthetic. She'd been working part-time as a buyer for a department store chain. Decent money, but not her passion. I supported it, completely. We sat down, made a budget. She needed roughly $75 for first year's lease and deposit, $28. Inventory, $22. Renovations and fixtures, $15. Marketing and website, $6. Business licenses, insurance, MISC. My salary as an operations manager covers our life comfortably. We'd saved about $40 for a potential down payment on a bigger house. I suggested using that plus a small business loan. She didn't want debt hanging over her head. It'll stress me out and I won't be creative. So I liquidated some investments, pulled from my retirement account, took the penalty hit, borrowed $15 from my parents, got to $75. Opened the store in March 2 years ago. By June, she needed another $12 for unexpected costs. Apparently the initial inventory wasn't enough and she'd underestimated seasonal needs. I pulled it together. Took a second job doing weekend consulting. Paid my parents back over 8 months. The store struggled. She blamed the location that she picked. Then the economy. Then COVID aftermath. Then people not appreciating quality. She started coming home stressed, angry. Nothing I did was right. If I suggested adjusting prices or running sales, I was undermining her vision. If I didn't comment on her business decisions, I was disengaged and unsupportive. By last summer, the store was bleeding money. She closed it in September. Total loss. I never once said, "I told you so." Never threw the money in her face. I told her it was a learning experience. We'd be okay. We'd rebuild. Last week, she came home late from dinner with friends. Seemed off. I asked if she was okay. She exploded. "You know what? I'm not okay. I'm suffocating. This marriage is suffocating. You never believed in me. You just threw money at the problem and expected me to magically succeed. I gave you everything you asked for. You gave me money, not support, not encouragement. You were just waiting for me to fail so you could feel superior. That's not true, and you know it. I'm done. I want a divorce. I need to find myself, and you're holding me back from that." I stared at her. Just stared. Then I said, "You're right, I should step aside." She seemed surprised I didn't fight it. Good. She moved in with her sister 2 days ago. Has a lawyer already. Apparently she'd been thinking about this a while. Yesterday I sat down with spreadsheets, calculated every dollar I'd put into that business. $87,340 total. Added 5% annual interest, reasonable business loan rate. Came to $94,683. Had my buddy who's a paralegal draft a formal invoice, professional letterhead, itemized list, payment terms, sent it to her email and her lawyer this morning. Subject: outstanding business investment, payment required. Her response 30 minutes later: "Are you serious right now?" "Yeah. Dead serious." Update 1. 5 days later, the fallout's been wild. My wife's lawyer sent a response letter. Called my invoice vindictive, cruel, and not legally enforceable. Claimed the money was a gift between spouses, and I'm trying to financially abuse her during a vulnerable time. My response through my own lawyer: hired the best divorce attorney my budget could afford. Please provide evidence that funds were gifted. Client maintains funds were business investment loans, as contemporaneous text messages will demonstrate. See, here's what her lawyer didn't know. I have texts. Lots of them. When she first asked for the money, her exact words: "I'll pay you back once the store is profitable. I promise. This is an investment in our future." When she needed the additional $12,000, "I hate asking for another loan, but I'll make this work. You'll get every penny back plus some when I'm successful." Multiple messages over 2 years referring to the money as a loan, as an investment, as something she'd pay back. My lawyer loved it. Sent copies to her lawyer with a note: Gifts are typically not promised to be repaid. These communications clearly establish expectation of repayment. But it gets better. I started going through old bank statements for my lawyer. Needed to prove exactly what I'd spent. Found something interesting. The business account was in her name only. Her insistence, I need full creative control. But I had access to the statements because they came to our house. Last 8 months before the store closed, $23,000 in business expenses that had nothing to do with business. $4,200 at a spa I'd never heard of. $3,800 at restaurants. We rarely ate out together during this time. $2,100 at a hotel. We never stayed there. $6,500 in cash withdrawals. Various shopping trips at non-business stores. I highlighted every suspicious transaction. Made a separate spreadsheet. Sent it to my lawyer. Pretty sure business funds were misappropriated. Is this relevant? Her response, oh, it's very relevant. Especially if she's claiming financial hardship. Then the family started calling. Her sister, how dare you bill her for supporting your wife's dream? You're disgusting. She called it a loan, multiple times, in writing. That's just semantics. Married people don't charge each other interest. Married people also don't blow $87 and then demand a divorce while claiming they were never supported. Click. Her mom called next. Crying. She's devastated. She's depressed. She lost her business and now you're trying to destroy her financially? I'm trying to recoup money I lent her for a business that failed. That she's now saying I sabotaged by not being supportive enough. You make good money. Why are you being so petty? I make good money because I work 60-hour weeks. That $87 was a year's worth of savings plus retirement penalties, plus debt to my parents. It wasn't play money. She's family. She's divorcing me? Her choice. Hung up. My own parents called, confused. We heard you're suing your wife? Not suing. Yet. Requesting repayment of a business loan. Dad was quiet a moment. The $87,000? Plus the $15,000 I borrowed from you to contribute. Yeah. Son, we told you that money was a gift to you both. And I'm grateful. But I gave it to her business. She's divorcing me. I'm requesting repayment. When I get it, you're getting your cut. Mom sighed. This is gonna get ugly. It already is. Thursday, I got a call from a mutual friend. Hey man, just wanted to check in. Heard about the separation. Yeah, your wife's pretty upset about you sending her a bill. Says you're trying to bankrupt her. Did she mention the $87,000 I gave her for her store? She said you were supposed to be partners in it. Partners split costs and profits. I funded 100%, she kept 100% control. Now it's 100% lost. How's that partnership? Silence. When you put it that way, there's only one way to put it. Truth. Friday morning, got an email from her lawyer. New tone, more conciliatory. Perhaps we can discuss this matter reasonably. Client acknowledges receipt of funds but maintains they were marital gifts. However, she's willing to discuss a payment plan of $500 a month if you withdraw the interest and reduce amount to $80,000. I laughed. $500 a month would take 13+ years. My response through my lawyer, client rejects offer. Full amount due or we proceed with formal legal action and discovery process regarding misappropriation of business funds. That last part was the kicker. Her lawyer hadn't known about the suspicious expenses yet. The divorce is happening regardless, but I'm not walking away $87 in the hole while she plays victim. More to come. Update 2. 3 weeks later. This got complicated fast. 2 days after my last update, her lawyer sent a nasty letter threatening to file harassment charges if I continued intimidating his client with spurious financial claims. My lawyer's response was basically, bring it. We filed a formal civil suit for repayment. Once that was filed, discovery started. That's when things got interesting. Her lawyer had to turn over financial records, bank statements, credit cards, the business account details, all of it. My lawyer subpoenaed everything related to the store. What we found was worse than I thought. Remember those suspicious $23,000 in expenses? Turns out there was more, way more. The store had a business credit card in her name. I'd never seen the statements. She handled all business finances to keep things clean. That card had $34,000 in charges over the 2 years. Some legitimate business stuff, but buried in there. $8,900 at luxury hotels, $4,200 in expensive dinners, $3,800 at a jewelry store, $2,100 for concert tickets, various other personal purchases. My lawyer cross-referenced dates with my calendar. Every hotel charge was a weekend I'd been working my second job or visiting my parents. The jewelry wasn't anything I'd ever seen her wear at home. She was living a double life on business money. During a divorce deposition, separate from the civil suit but happening simultaneously, my lawyer asked pointed questions. Can you explain the charges at hotel in May of last year? That was a business networking event. Overnight. The charges show room service for 2, champagne, late checkout. I brought a colleague. Male or female colleague. Her lawyer objected, but she'd already gone red. The questioning continued. She couldn't explain half the expenses. Claimed she'd needed to maintain appearances for the business, and the hotel stays were mental health breaks from the stress. My lawyer presented the text messages where she'd called the $87,000 loan, where she'd promised repayment. Her lawyer argued they were taken out of context, that married couples often speak loosely about money. Judge reviewed them, looked at her. These messages are fairly explicit about repayment expectations. Did you intend to repay these funds? I intended for the business to be successful. Then we'd both benefit. That's not what was asked. She got flustered. Started crying. Her lawyer called for a recess. During the break, my lawyer pulled me aside. They're going to settle. This is going badly for them. He was right. Next session, her lawyer proposed, client will repay $45,000 over 5 years at $750 per month. In exchange, plaintiff drops interest claims and investigation into business expenses. My lawyer countered, $70,000 over 3 years at $1,950 a month, or we continue discovery into misappropriation and possible fraud. They tried negotiating down. We wouldn't budge. Finally, $65,000 over 4 years at $1,350 a month. Final offer. I looked at my lawyer. He nodded slightly. This was decent. I'll agree if there's a clause that defaulting on any payment accelerates the full amount due immediately. They agreed. The divorce settlement was separate. That went about as expected. I lost some assets because 11-year marriage. She got her car paid off, thank God, half the furniture, half of our joint savings, about $8 left, spousal support of $1,800 per month for 3 years. Judge determined she needed time to re-establish her career. I kept the house, refinanced to buy out her equity, cost me $90. My retirement accounts, what's left after the business funding. My car, the civil judgment for $65,000. Net result, I'm out about $110,000 total between the business loss, divorce costs, and buying her out of the house. But at least I'm not out the full $180,000 plus it could have been. The kicker came 2 weeks ago. I was having coffee with the mutual friend who'd called before. He seemed uncomfortable. Look, man, I probably shouldn't tell you this. What? Your ex-wife. She's seeing someone. Okay? We're divorced. No, she's been seeing him for a while, since before the separation. My stomach dropped. How long? At least 8 months, maybe longer. It's the guy who did the website for her store. 8 months. That matched up perfectly with when the suspicious expenses started. He knew about the business money? I think so. He helped her with the book sometimes. I called my lawyer. New information? Pretty sure the business expenses were funding an affair. Do you want to reopen discovery? Can I? Civil case is settled. Divorce is finalized. But if you can prove fraud in how she represented the business expenses during divorce proceedings, maybe. It's a long shot and expensive. I thought about it. Thought hard. No, I'm done. I got most of what I wanted. She's legally obligated to pay me back. That's enough. Because here's the thing. I could spend another $20 in legal fees trying to prove she committed fraud. Might win, might not. Either way, I'd be throwing good money after bad. She's stuck paying me $1,350 a month for 4 years while also trying to rebuild her life. The jewelry she bought her boyfriend with my money? The fancy hotels? Gone. Just like her business. Just like our marriage. And I have a legal judgment. If she misses a single payment, I can garnish her wages, put liens on assets, make her life hell. That's victory enough. Final update? 2 months later. It's done. Finally, completely done. The last 2 months have been about rebuilding, not just financially, emotionally. My ex made her first payment, $350, right on time, probably because her lawyer explained what happens if she doesn't. Got confirmation it deposited. Felt nothing. Not satisfaction, not anger, just relief. The divorce being final meant I could finally breathe. No more lawyer emails, no more depositions, no more seeing her face across a conference table trying to cry her way into paying less. Work's been busy. Actually got promoted last month, director of operations. Significant raise. Means I can rebuild savings faster and the spousal support payments sting less. The house feels different now. Cleaned out all her stuff. She took forever to pick up the last boxes. Repainted the bedroom. Replaced the couch she took. It's mine now. Completely mine. My parents were relieved when everything settled. Dad told me he was proud I handled it smart, not emotional. Mom just hugged me and said I deserved better. They're not wrong. Found out more about the boyfriend situation through the grapevine. Apparently, they're living together now. She moved in with him 2 weeks after the divorce finalized. The mutual friends who initially sided with her, most have gone quiet. Couple of them apologized once they learned the full story. One guy said, "Man, I had no idea she'd been using business money like that. That's messed up." Yeah, it was. Her sister still won't talk to me. Her mom sent one email, "I hope you're happy now." I didn't respond. Not worth it. The business debt repayment is automatic withdrawal from her account. Set it up through the court, means I don't have to interact with her at all. $1,350 shows up in my account on the 15th of every month. I put it straight into rebuilding my retirement fund. At this rate, I'll have recovered most of the financial hit by my mid-40s. Not ideal, but manageable. Been on a few dates, nothing serious yet. Hard to trust after everything. But I'm working on it. Therapist says that's normal, that I need time to process the betrayal. Because that's what it was, betrayal. Not just the cheating, though that stung when I confirmed it, but the lying about the money. The manipulation, the gaslighting about me not being supportive when I'd literally funded her entire dream. She got to play entrepreneur with my money while screwing someone else on my dime. Then wanted to walk away with half of everything and paint me as the bad guy. Instead, she's legally obligated to pay me back for 4 years, lost most of her friend group, and has to explain to every future partner why she has a court-ordered debt to her ex-husband. Meanwhile, I have my house, my promotion, my peace of mind, and a legal judgment that ensures I won't take the full loss. Someone asked me last week if I regretted sending that invoice. If it was worth all the legal fees and stress. I thought about it. Really thought about it. Yeah, it was worth it. Because it wasn't about the money. Not really. It was about refusing to be gaslit, refusing to accept being blamed for her failures, refusing to finance her affair and then walk away with nothing but the privilege of having supported her dreams. She made choices. Choices to lie, to cheat, to steal from the business, to blame me for everything. I made a choice too. To fight back. To demand accountability. The legal system isn't perfect. I still lost money in the divorce. Still had to pay for her to re-establish her career. Still watched her play victim in court. But I also won. The judgment stands. The debt is real. The truth came out. That's enough. I'm rebuilding, slowly. The retirement account is recovering. The house is mine. The promotion means more financial security. The therapy is helping. And every month, $1,350 shows up in my account. A reminder that actions have consequences. That you can't blow someone's life savings and then claim they never supported you. That courts do sometimes recognize reality over performance. My ex wanted her dreams funded with my money and my freedom to walk away when they failed. She got the first part, lost the second, and now she's paying for it. Literally. Sometimes justice isn't about winning everything. It's about not losing everything, about drawing a line and saying, this far, no further. I drew that line with an invoice, best $94,683 bill I ever sent.